Welcome to another episode of Temple Touch, the weekday devotion to inspire you, increase your faith, and encourage you to serve the Lord with all your heart, mind, and strength. Today's lesson comes from Matthew chapter 19, verse 16 to 22, which says, "And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which commandments? Jesus said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbour as thyself. The young man said unto him, I have kept all of these things from my youth. What lack I yet? Jesus said to him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell all that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions." Today's thought is, are you really serious? A story is told that a monk was meditating by a river when a young man interrupted him and said, "Master, I wish to become your disciple." "Why?" asked the monk. The young man thought for a moment and then said, "Because I want to find God." The master jumped up, grabbed him by the scruff of his neck, dragged him into the river, and plunged his head underwater. After holding him there for a minute, with him kicking and struggling to free himself, the master finally pulled him up out of the river. The young man coughed up water and gasped to get his breath. With panic and confusion on his face, the young man shouted at the monk, "Why are you trying to kill me?" The monk, after eventually calming him down, looked at him and said, "Tell me, when you were underwater, what did you desire most of all?" "All I wanted was air," answered the young man. The monk said, "You didn't want money or fame or houses or lands?" The young man replied, "None of that mattered. The only thing that mattered was getting air." "Very well," said the master. "If you are really serious, go home and come back to me when you want God as much as you just wanted air." In the story of Jesus and the rich man, it can be assumed that Jesus was demanding too much from the young rich man just to become his follower. And when the rich man heard Jesus' demands, he must have thought, "Are you really serious?" But here is something to consider. Everything in the world and our life places a demand upon us every day. Our jobs demand 8 hours or more of quality service to qualify for a salary. Our schools demand hours of study and testing to achieve results. Our relationships demand love, faithfulness, and commitment to make us happy. And the list goes on. And we are often happy to give in to those demands of everyday life. But yet, when Jesus demands that we take up our cross, deny ourselves, and follow Him, people get upset at Jesus for asking them for that commitment. This is the same Jesus who gave His life before He ever asked us to give Him anything in return. The same Jesus who blessed us with all blessings in heavenly places before He asked us to be a blessing to others. The same Jesus who was beaten for our healing before He asked us to lay hands on the sick for them to be healed. Is Jesus demanding too much of us today when He asks that we simply follow Him? Don't let life's demands on you today become more important than Jesus' call for you to follow Him. The same way you can be faithful and committed in your earthly relationships, you can be faithful in your relationship with Christ. The same way you can give quality service on the job to an earthly boss is the same way you can give excellent service in the work of God. Jesus' demands upon us are not unreasonable. Rather, they're quite easy to fulfill because we fulfill the demands of everyday life. But like the young man in the story, we've got to simply desire God as much as wanting air. Jesus must become our top priority today and every day, and submitting to His will become as easy as breathing air. Is Jesus really serious about what He asks of you today? He sure is. And in Him, you have the power to walk according to all He asks of you. Thank you for listening to today's Temple Touch. Have a blessed day.